This series of videos has been filmed in an IATF 16949 certified supplier who is involved in the manufacture of a wide range of rivets used for automotive and non-automotive applications. They also design and manufacture equipment used in rivet insertion. The video shows extract of simulated IATF 16949 audits focused on the organization's quality management system processes. Watch this video and see if the auditor is undertaking the audit effectively. As always, we welcome feedback and comments. So I want to audit the process of the receiving of the wire. Okay. I've seen the initial receipt of the wire into the warehouse. Yes. And I've seen it put into this interim storage area. Okay. I understand that you're responsible for monitoring the supplier's performance.
Yes, exactly that, yeah.
So can you show me any data on the wire performance?
Yeah, sure.
Suppliers?
So I've brought some down with me. This is this year's figures so far. And we've mostly our supplier, the actual suppliers themselves, we have great performance across the board, really. They pretty much never get any instances of any issues with the wire themselves. Yeah. We have had the odd one, which we've come from forging.
Yeah, I see a couple here.
So this is lapse in the material.
Yeah. And what would you do in the case that you do have a supplier concern?
Right, so what would happen is we'd get an issue raised from forging. I'd come down, inspect the material, then we would quarantine that material. We'd also look at any other batches as well that may potentially have that issue. Yeah. And then we put it in the quarantine cages at the other end of the warehouse.
We'll have a look at that in a few minutes.
Once we've got all of our evidence compiled, then we will send that over to the supplier with an 8D.
Right. And with the lapse, can you pick that up in your receiving checks, or does it tend to get picked up later?
It tends to get picked up on the forging station itself,
because
it
could be
anywhere within that wire. Exactly. So if it was visible, I'd imagine the supplier would pick that up on their QA inspections before it left them.
Right.
But obviously, potentially, it could be anywhere within that wire, the defect itself.
So when we go back to the office, can we pick up on those two supplier concerns then?
Absolutely.
And we'll have a look at the current status of that. Yeah. What I want to do now on this batch number 2083 is go and look at the laboratory verification checks that you do on this product.
Yeah, that's great.
So I think that's your laboratory over there, isn't it?
Over there,
so we'll go and do that verification. And when we audit the supplier management process, can we have that information available?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, thank you very much for your help.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. In this video, the auditor is in the wire receiving area and talking to the person responsible for monitoring the performance of the wire suppliers. The auditee shares data on the performance and indicates that generally the performance is good, with only occasional examples of where wire is found either in the receiving inspection or within the rivet manufacturing process that does not meet the relevant specification. This gives the auditor the opportunity to follow the audit trails to verify the control of any non-conforming product. The auditee stated that such wire is stored in the quarantine area. The auditor asked what action is taken if a supplier concern is identified. The auditee explained that in such cases, a supplier 8D is raised on the supplier. The auditor correctly said that they would follow this audit trail when they return back to the office. An interesting part of the discussion related to where defects in the wire may not be picked up in the receiving checks, for example, material lapse. In this situation, it's not unique to this organization. In these cases, the auditor should follow the audit trail to see how the problem is identified and managed in production, how any such material is quarantined, and how the relevant people are informed of the concern. This stresses the importance of having good suppliers, and either by having third-party certification or second-party audits, having confidence in the supplier product and process control to ensure conforming products and materials are manufactured and supplied to the organization.